It is Hockey Week across America, so we'll be celebrating that all week long. Today is all about the coaches, as we take a look at the career resume of Don Lucia, the CCHA commissioner, who also spent 31 seasons as Division I head coach at Minnesota. Don joining the show now, and normally I wouldn't start an interview this way, Don, but times are so weird over the last 12 months. I just want to ask how you're doing and what life looks like for you right now.
Well, we're doing fine, and my wife and I actually have done a lot of traveling over the past year, so the COVID hasn't had a huge impact on us. So just kind of looking forward to the day when we can get back to the normal that we had before, especially in light of athletics and certainly hockey.
Well, we're glad to hear that things are going well. Give me the background on this new job, because we talked about your coaching career, and you had that long run at Minnesota where you won back-to-back titles, their national titles, back in the early part of the 2000s. What's this new job? What are the challenges, and how excited are you about it?
Well, it's really exciting. First of all, when I went through the interview process last spring, with the 7 schools, now 8 with St. Thomas joining our league this fall. You know, they're like-minded institutions. They want to try to compete at the highest level, get a little bit tighter geographical footprint. They all have a rich history. I was very impressed with how dedicated they were to their programs, how important it is for them to be successful, the rich history that they all have. So very fortunate to be a part of it. I think that my experiences, as I said in the interview, I don't have a PhD, but I probably do have a PhD in hockey, and I think I have a lot to bring. Putting together a new staff, just trying to get everybody on the same page as we head into the new year in October in our inaugural CCHA season. So it's really exciting to work with the athletic directors, the presidents, and the coaches.
Don, I'm excited because I can finally track the CCHA again, because many years ago I played for Bowling Green in the CCHA, and they were widely considered the best league in the country when there was only 4 leagues back then. What challenges now with the absence of the Michigan and the Michigan States and the Notre Dame, some of the bigger schools, like what challenges are there to be relevant and to make sure that the teams in the CCHA are amongst the very best in college hockey?
Well, I think the number one thing, it starts with the commitment. The beauty of college hockey is very different from like BCS schools or Division I football. It doesn't matter if you're Northern Michigan or a Lake State or Bemidji, Mankato, all the different schools. They have a major commitment to their programs, much like Michigan does or Michigan State, and that's why you see the smaller Division II schools can have the same opportunities to compete at the highest levels as a Big Ten school. And that's the great thing about our sport. USA Hockey has really grown over the course of time. I think the NHL moving to some of the southern markets. Now we see there's a lot more players from all over the country. There's a bigger player pool than ever before. And I think that allows so many more teams at the college level that are playing, and it allows them to be competitive. So it's not the size or your BCS, Big Ten, Boston College. You don't have to be that to be a really good college hockey program. You just have to have that commitment from your institution, and these 8 schools all have that commitment for their institution to compete at the highest level.
Don, you said it. I mean, USA Hockey has really helped grow this game in the country over the last 20, 30, 40 years. And you're seeing people, young men, young women that are playing hockey now at different levels. Would you like to see, and I know it's about money and it's about making it happen, would you like to see maybe more Division I programs in the United States? Because it seems like there's so many players now, there would be opportunity if there were a few more programs out there.
Well, there's no question we'd like to see college hockey expand, and when you look at our sport, there seems to be more expansion with Division II institutions and maybe at the Division I level. As we know, they put a lot of their money in football and basketball. That's the driving force there. Hopefully, that with Arizona State adding hockey, maybe more teams in the West Coast will look to add. With the Kraken adding in the Pacific Northwest, I think that's an area where you look at college hockey that could grow. It would be on that Pacific side in California. How many kids are playing roller hockey, or how many good players are coming out of California? Or you look at Illinois, there's no college hockey program in the state of Illinois. And I think that's an area where, they could certainly handle having 1 or more Division I hockey programs.
Don, when the CCHA broke up and some of the teams went to the WCHA, the Big Ten, travel became a real concern. You talked about geographical proximity. Do you know what the schedule will look like for your member schools next year? Because a big part of my existence was you play on the weekend, you could get back to your own school potentially on a Saturday night after a road game and have a more normal college experience to go along with the hockey. Do you know what the schedule is going to look like?
Yes, right now we're going to have a 26-game league schedule. And some teams wanted 28, others wanted 24. We settled on 26. What I like about that is because of their footprint, where they are geographically, it allows some of these teams to get back, whether it's Bowling Green, as your alma mater, can schedule games with Michigan and Michigan State close by. You know, Mankato can schedule the teams, whether it's St. Cloud or Minnesota or UMD, and that's the beauty of it. We'll have our 26-game league schedule. You know, there's so many whether teams from the NCHC or the Big Ten that are within our footprint, so we'd be able to get on a bus and play some of those other schools from a non-conference basis. And even from our footprint, a lot of the schools are going to be able to bus to each other, so it'll be a Friday, Saturday, pretty much exclusively on the weekends of playing in our conference.
All right, well, today is all about celebrating coaches in Hockey Week across America. My dad always taught me to try to learn something from everyone I meet. You have a PhD in hockey. You coached in Minnesota, of all places, for 31 seasons. So I'll ask you this before we let you go. What's the biggest thing you learned as a coach for 31 seasons?
I think the biggest thing I learned, and what I try to pass on to my players, was that hockey is a great game. It's unlike football, where it's necessarily not fun to practice. I was a high school football player. Hockey is a fun sport to practice. It's a fun sport to play. And you have to have your players come to the rink with a smile on their face every day. I think that's extremely important. You got to love the game, because if you're not loving the game, you're not going to be an effective player or effective teammate, or, you know, have the record that you hope to have. So I think you have to have enjoyment when you come to the rink and be a part of it, because it is such a great sport to play.
I love that answer. That's why we do what we do, right? For the love of the game. Don, thanks for joining us. We appreciate the time. All the best.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be with you.